All right, so again, for the YouTube people, hi YouTube.
Glad you're still around.
I'm glad I'm still around. Is that what
the YouTube people.
Oh yeah. They haven't like, completely like burned down this YouTube channel yet.
Yeah.
But anyway, for you people, hello. We're going to do Defending Moyos Part 2. Because last week we did Part 1, and I think it was pretty successful. I actually really liked these problems. They're both not. They're both. I find they're very calm problems. Like it's just like the universe is working the way it should kind of problems. Like if you do a lot of life and death problems, like there's a lot of like crazy reading and sequences and things, and I didn't see that Tetsuji, and you feel like it's like a heart-wrenching adventure movie, right?
Where anything can happen.
And this is just a painting. This is just a Monet. Anyway, here's my artistic interpretation of these problems. This problem, again, these are all black to play. What's going on this board? We'll summarize who has what, where, are there weaknesses we should be taking into consideration. There's something going on here.
Yeah.
Rather big.
That's looking pretty sizable. What else is going on?
We thought this was a little weak down here.
How weak is it?
There's some danger of white invading here, maybe.
Yeah, this looks like it's pretty solid black territory. But
over here.
But over here first. So the question is this weak?
No, I don't think black playing here endangers
I don't
this
think
white
it's
group particularly.
like
Not directly at all, because white always has this move to get out,
Yeah.
right? White can always just do that over there. Even if white saves this stone, it's not like it really disconnects very much. White can disconnect on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's actually really hard to attack this. Now, later on, if white really wants to make a play for this endgame territory, and maybe makes a few exchanges, and black gets this move, now, when black comes in here, if black gets some thickness, there are ways to set up an attack on this thing, right? Because if, depending on the white sequence here, we can come out, we can Atari. I don't really want to go down this rabbit hole too far. But at this point, now this group is feeling a lot more pressurized, right? And so that's the type of thing we're expecting to happen, or needing to happen, in order for that to feel pressure. But we're not there yet. Like, none of that's happened.
Okay.
So we're going to say that's actually pretty strong right now.
Okay.
I always think that it's strong. That's where everything is. There?
Yeah, that looks fine.
Okay. All right, what's going on over here? Anything interesting over here?
White corner with black small wall facing towards nothing useful.
Yeah, this wall doesn't look very useful. However, this corner isn't entirely white, right? Black has very easy, simple reduction moves to take away quite a few points. There's still this type of attachment as well. There's things. It's looking like it's going to be white territory, but black has good reductions because black is so strong on the outside.
Sure.
Black's strong though?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty strong.
Looking solid.
Is white strong?
Something like connected back to this, which is relatively strong.
Okay.
That makes that one sound really sad.
Yeah, so there's a huge white weakness right there, right? Okay. You got to look at these knight's jumps, and especially if black has all these stones out here, that means black's going to have ladders. I forgot who it was last week, but someone was saying, you play these variations, you always say, but black has the ladder.
The
and
ladder,
then,
yeah,
is that you?
I was talking about that.
And you're like, the ominous ladder. I don't know where the ladder is. All right, well, there's a ladder.
Especially because you always say the ladder when it's like 10 moves before the ladder.
That's right. And often there's many ways to get to a ladder.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about the ladder, we can be talking about any one of those variations, right, in which the ladder happens.
Black has many ladders.
Wait, I mean, this is a pro. Black has the ladder here,
Sure.
right, and going off in this direction. So with these cut points, I mean, there's a couple ways for it to devolve into a ladder. So we just want to establish it's not good for white if black gets cut there. Okay. What about territory balance? How much is this worth if black gets all of it?
I'll say like 3 by
25 is good. Good count. And again, two different ways. If you're just getting a rough estimate, you guys know that this is 30 to here,
Okay.
right? And then lop off a few, maybe give it an extra 1 or 2 here.
Okay.
That probably averages out to about 5 less than all the way to there. So 25 is a pretty good estimate. If you're counting diligently, you are not allowed to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Instead, what must you do?
By
Count the twos.
It must at least pairs, right? And some people do 3s or 4s, but at least pairs.
Sorry, what? What, just for efficiency reasons?
Just for efficiency.
Yeah, efficiency, because if you're playing a game of Go, you can't sit around for 3 hours and count the game each point.
Right,
So-
right.
Unless you're playing a professional
But
game.
and knowing the score of the game it can be really important to your strategy.
The problem is that, you know, it's easy to get a bunch of pairs this way or something, but then you get these little shapes and you start
Yeah, you
getting
get the
things that
little fun
overlap.
shapes,
all
and
that
then
stuff.
but the thing is, the more you count in pairs, the more you figure out for yourself how you want to deal with those funny shapes. So, okay, how many points over here?
8.
8 conservative, 10 optimistic. Okay,
Okay.
so right now black has about 35 plus whatever this is. I'm not going to count this. Whoops.
Because it's totally destroyed now.
Well, damn it.
Hopefully those stones
help me
weren't
out.
important to the problem. Oh, nice.
Something like
Yeah, it
this.
was
And then this is
diagonal.
here.
With that.
There.
Okay,
That's close.
that's
Yeah.
close enough.
No problem for people.
So you got it? Here, you double check it. I'm teaching a class here.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, we got about, let's say 35-ish for black. Again, assuming that white can't invade here, although there is some very scary possibilities of this, yes. You know, because we have a clamp here, we have a peak here, we still have the 3-3 open. This is not solid black territory. Not very solid as black would like to believe. Okay, how many points does white have? How many points is this?
Like 6.
6 is pretty good. You can be a little bit more optimistic. You might be able to get it up to 8. Maybe if you're really optimistic.
I really
but
thought 6 was going to be optimistic there for a second.
6 is already pretty optimistic, I guess. Yeah, all right. We'll say 6. Here?
8-ish.
Yeah, we'll say 8.
10.
We'll say how about we'll give it 15 between these two.
Okay. Fair enough.
15 here. How about over here?
Nothing yet.
I think you could say you
This
have a fair
enclosure's
bit.
not too
I
bad.
think you can count this pretty safely at this point, because if black really is going to try really hard to invade, you're going to get compensation. Like you're gonna push around black for a long time if black goes in here really deeply. So I'm looking at this. I
18.
can't probably make a wall here because this is undercut.
Okay.
So we're probably looking at about between 12 to 15 at the most,
Okay.
optimistically. If we're really optimistic for what we have 15 and 15, make 30.
Yay.
How about over here?
Because there's all these.
There's reduction.
Depends on if he gets those reductions, but
You have to.
10.
It's not good.
Oh, how about, let's count the whole side.
Okay.
I think that'll.
Maybe.
So, I would say we're probably around 25 again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, if we go by the 30 minus a few for reductions, we're probably around 25. Now, of course, if black gets the next move and can just reduce this, you know, boom, we just lost 5 points. If black gets this, we lose another 5 points. That can go down, but we're being really optimistic for white, okay? And so altogether, we have 60 points plus Comey, right?
Okay.
15, 15, 30. Like
65.
optimistically, like white's best score in this game, we know is 60 plus Comey.
So we need to get like 30 from the middle or
We need to find 30.
35.
Yeah.
So like approximately this.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically,
what you
can you
need.
find like a 6x6 area, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what you need. Or or maybe 7 by 5. You know, one of the, you know, something in that vicinity.
Yeah.
And this, if white didn't have 60 plus Comey, right? If white only has 40 plus Comey, right? You could actually play a really conservative move here, right? Just take 20 points that white has no chance to reduce.
Yep.
But again, we're using that score to inform your decision of like, okay, what do I need to get here?
What's the
Makes
risk
sense.
you're willing to take?
How much risk can we take on? And you know, you can imagine also if we didn't actually count these points for black, right? But if we can play a move or end up with this could be another 10 points. So we don't really need 25 in the middle. If we can also get this in the process. What's your move? What's your best guess? Where do you want to play?
We had two major hypotheses.
Huh?
One was over here, maybe a cap, maybe there.
Okay. This here or here?
Yeah.
And the other one we looked at was right in this
Yes.
vicinity-ish.
Yeah, sweet.
Not quite Tengun, but yeah, I think around there is what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a difficult problem. And I'm not even sure if I 100% believe what the book answer is.
Huh, interesting.
But
So you're saying it's not in
Tengun.
our hypothesis space?
the book, so the idea when you're looking at this, you know, as a Go player, right? You're like, okay, here's my neighborhood. I want to make my neighborhood bigger. I want to find things I can lean on to expand it.
Buy it?
We can't really lean on this.
Yeah.
Can we lean on anything over here? I mean,
Is that night cut?
we have that night cut, but
It's pretty far from.
yeah, it doesn't really work well with the Moyo right now. It's useful to take more points later, but by itself, it's really not going to turn this into 30 plus points.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we can play from one side or the other, but whatever we do,
Does the book
Yeah,
say
that's
split
it.
the difference and
yeah. So the book says play here,
Okay.
and there's a couple of things going on here. Number one, it's actually this is strong enough that it's very difficult for white to come in deep.
and buy
Right,
it?
like this
Even I'd
this
say that's too deep.
this is definitely too deep. And if white comes in a little bit, well, even this is a little bit too deep, right? Because even if white comes in here, if we can harass this stone enough, I'm gonna play very crude moves. These are very, very crude moves. You know, boom, we just lost our 30 points, right? But all of a sudden, when we cut this stone off, we're threatening 20 points over here. And black can always come back and take another 15, 20 this way.
Yeah,
Right, white still owes another move here if he really wants to reduce it.
sure.
So because again, we're looking at this defect matters. And because white has a defect here, black's going to be a little more aggressive with playing away from this Moyo, trying to defend it on two sides. Now, obviously, if white plays soft on either side, we can just defend. That's big enough to win.
Yeah.
And even if white plays, you know, right on the cusp, right on the edge here, I'm actually still fairly confident that we don't have to play super aggressive either. And because we counted the score, if we get this and white can't really get in here, let's say even white can push that far back, that's still,
Plus, we're starting to get this too.
yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, maybe 16, about 32 points.
Yeah.
You know, that's the really like sad variation, right? Where we just defend sadly. We're still looking at an extra, 30 plus points. So, this is I can tell you, I'm not sure I would play there in the middle of a game. Like it feels a little bit just floating.
Yeah.
But I want to take you through the process of all the things we're trying to think about. And
What would be more your inclination?
my first instinct is to lean on something and expand one of these sides and then play the balancing move. But it's really hard to find things to lean on, right? Because you can go annoy this, but that stone doesn't help you
Yeah. Yeah.
build on anything.
Why is playing the ladder bad to start with?
Because I think this is smaller than this. Yes?
Yeah.
And so does white Tanuki.
White might actually play this first. Actually, white should probably play this first. And then,
Then come back.
yeah,
You could even play it as a ladder break. Oh, sorry.
well, but this is bigger than that, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, are we gonna just do this now?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, yeah, we gained here, but
We lost there.
yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, it's a difficult problem, but go is hard. Whoops, and
Let's
I
go shopping.
can't put all the stones back.
Yep, there you go.
Yes, so again, core idea, if nothing else, recognize that you have a wall here, so we need to balance our wall, right? We can't just let our wall do nothing. We have to throw a bomb from it, right? This is a giant tank. Launch an artillery shell somewhere. Man, I keep destroying this board.
Problem solved.
All right, next board. This board looks like an opening.
Yep.
What are your ideas?
I really want to do the enclosure here. So that's what I feel.
Okay, any other ideas?
We talked about another one.
Do one of the attack and come in
Oh,
and
just
invade like that, yeah.
Take
Moyos
outside
done.
Bill.
Skull reduce.
Yep.
Does anyone remember the other move we talked about?
I don't remember.
A lot of us like this enclosure. That seemed good.
I like the enclosure.
Did anyone talk about this move?
No,
Good. Tengen always wrong.
it's too early.
Anyone find this move?
No, we did talk about that one, didn't we? Or was it a different problem?
I think it's a different.
That was a different problem. That looks very similar, and we liked that move a lot.
Yeah.
I like this move. It's not the best move.
Okay.
There's something bigger. But normally in this type of situation, this is the type of move you're looking for.
Okay.
If this was a little bit closer, perhaps, maybe if this was more like this, then this feels really nice. But we're not that.
Okay.
So this, if we can find a way, this space is bigger than this space, right?
Yes.
But I don't know how to make that work.
The high enclosure.
I was one off
Yeah, we want to play high here. Why do we like high better than low?
because we have more potential, I guess.
Yeah, number one, we can be optimistic. Look, we
Okay.
got stones here, we got stones here. This is our corner. We're going to play high. We're going to say we're getting all the marbles for ourselves.
Okay.
If you play low,
Yeah.
White's going to play here.
Of course.
Okay.
And there are three main variations that come from this. Does anyone know the three next primary moves?
I've seen this before, but I do not
We've seen this
remember.
before.
I don't know the moves either.
Seem like an insane
That would be
move.
the like.
This is probably the most classic one. This is probably the second most classic one. But basically, either of these moves, you're picking a side, right? And then sort of the one that you see a lot in the last 15 years, I guess, now, is this one.
To be violent.
It's more just like we're gonna define the shape. I'm gonna get a little bit on both sides.
Okay.
Because the move is when white plays here. Or was it here? Actually, I should know this. I feel like it's there. I think it's there. No, I don't know. That's one. Just know, this is the third one. But either way, white's going to be able to get strong and reduce this on both
Okay.
sides. If you play over here, white will attach here and reduce this.
Yeah.
If you play over here, white will poke and reduce this. And if you play the one that for some reason my brain is farting. Is it really there? I think it's there. Maybe both these are variations. But white, this doesn't quite work for white. Alright, so there's not really a good thing to do with this stone. So it's like white has to come back and defend or make some lame sauce kind of move, and so you kind of
yeah.
get both sides.
That actually seemed way
This
better
is-
for black.
This is a bad variation for, like, the variation I played was not optimal for white. White
Sure.
should play looser. I played very pig-headed poking moves that white should not play.
Sure.
But to show you, like, why black isn't scared of this.
So we should do that third one. That's what you're
The
saying.
third one is I think, the current favorite most of the time. if you're just looking just to turn it into territory, it's the hardest one for your opponent to deal with. Because this is going to define the shape so solidly. But, you know, I'm sure there's lighter variations. But anyway, we don't want to play this.
Okay.
This move by itself, like even if we play this now, and let's say white plays some lighter moves. I mean, now maybe we start to see that white can still reduce over here, still can attach over here. Like, yeah, there's weaknesses, but white will get something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we want to play this one.
Okay.
We want to be optimistic. This stone also has a lot more meaning and relationship with this stone. In the formation, when you already have this point, I mean, this is a good point for this formation as well, but it's especially good in this type of formation. And you see this a lot when you play Kobayashi,
Okay.
because your opponent can approach here, black responds here. Very normal opening,
Something to learn.
right? Because this is a nice shape. So we're just going to take it. That's good. That's good. If white wants to come over here, white totally can, but you'll just get more and white will be under pressure. If white just runs out, hey, fifth line territory is great. Maybe even kick first and then come back. That's all. Just yeah, your eye has to know. Boom. Look, I have stones here, I have stones here, I need to unite everything. Important point. If you do not play this, white's just going to take this next move. Like you play this, good move, but
Too late.
yeah, this side was the bigger side because you have potential on both areas.
Yeah.
The other thing is when you play this, white already has a third line stone here. And so you can't really like threaten white, right? If you come over here, white will make a base. If you come over here, white will make a base. Maybe if white doesn't have a stone or a fourth line stone, that's actually a little bit harder for white to deal with because now white doesn't have a guaranteed base when you come here.
What if white just copies you?
Copies me?
Yeah, like if you play black, you're
Yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So we have a Moyo race.
Yeah.
But like,
So this way or this way?
This was down.
That's all.
Either.
Thank you.
I don't know.
I would go on-
I didn't think about which
I go on this side.
like,
All that matters.
do you know what I mean?
But like, what's like, this is more open. Like,
Sad about both of them.
Yeah, the spacing here is actually really hard for white, right? Because normally we'd want to extend here, right? This would be a nice relationship with this stone. This is kind of a bad relationship with the corner, right? So we'd have a 5 and a 3. That's good, meh. We'd have a 6 and a 4. Or 6 and a 2. That's bad and bad. We could have a 7 and a 1. That's good and bad. It's hard to space these things for white.
Why is 3 bad?
3 leaves a division just immediately. Yeah.
But we still have
And
the
2
equivalent.
is okay if it's on the 3rd line. On the 4th line, we don't really like it because black can actually just play and live.
So the point is that both of these sides are. Because I mean, we still have a gap.
Yeah,
there.
so number one, it's hard for white to build a Moyo as effectively. Like this is a really nice Moyo formation. Over here, we have a little bit of too big of a space, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the only real, problem. This is a really nice formation over here. So this is so nice. I'm willing to take a 7 space gap over here.
Sure. Well, and also it's still in the opening. It's not like
Yeah. But these are the things you think about in the opening. The second thing is, if we just get into a pure Moyo race, who wins that game, black or white?
black is to be favored.
Black, yeah. Usually the reason why you don't see Moyo versus Moyo is because black will make that one move when those 2 Moyos are about to come together, and black will get that key point first. So if I'm trying to build something big and you're trying to build something big, eventually the board runs out of space. And at some point, one of the players will get the biggest move on the board, like the one biggest move that unites our Moyo and destroys your opponents.
it also makes Komi less relevant.
I guess it does, yeah, because if you're playing through the big territories, yeah, that's true too. So I think inviting a Moyo versus Moyo game is strategically like a top level go, very, very sound strategy for black. Never mind just the fact that this is a nicer shape than what white can make. Okay? This one, What do you guys come up with?
I think this one that we came up with was the 1 point jump here to try to box this, like this intersection line. That's what we were thinking.
We were also wanting to stop white from playing here and sort of having similar influence that way.
Yeah.
So what happens if white plays here?
Maybe black hunters there.
Definitely. So white plays
we
here?
discussed this, that this didn't matter. Didn't we? I thought we discussed that this, what was that?
Never mind, this is looking good for black.
Yeah, this is, you're not unhappy here.
I don't think we followed much more than one move. We were like,
Oh,
we're like
there's
that
your
honey.
problem.
I didn't notice the technical spot.
That's your problem. Yeah, that's actually not terrible for black, because, yeah, white's building these 4 points.
Yeah.
Which sure is great, 4 points, I love
Sure.
4 points. And and starting to build a wall here, right?
Yeah.
To help this out, but that's premature if black is also getting this directly.
So maybe we should be building the wall over on this
Somewhere
side.
there.
Yeah, look, so this is a Moyo versus Moyo game, right? We just talked about Moyo versus Moyo in the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, you usually want to be black in that type of game. That's usually beneficial for you because right now we're at the point where these two Moyos are running together. And your instinct of like, hey, I can make mine bigger and reduce my opponent's, that's a great instinct. A minus work for you, sir.
Okay.
Right? But the thing is, on this board, we actually have more to gain by increasing ours this direction and reducing our opponents on this side.
Okay.
And so the question is why? Why is this side better to expand and reduce rather than this one?
Oh, this is the like creeping over the wall thing, isn't it?
The what thing?
Creeping
I don't
over the
know.
wall. I remember getting confused about this like 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Why we had the thing where like we had a wall,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Oh.
we had to like you were like there's a move you have to play first before you attack it.
Yes, yes, yes.
And it was like capping over.
Yeah.
So now,
Exactly.
now white has to now protect this again.
Yeah, because if white's like, oh, you got that one, I'm gonna take this one. This starts to feel like a movie picking here. It's not just, we're not just having Moyo versus Moyo game. It's now, I have an attack on your stones and you have nothing on me. You know, it's
Yeah.
a whole different type of game now. You maybe respond here once and then, find your move. Even if you don't want to attack this seriously and you just reduce it,
That's
It is.
still really scary.
that's not scary, it's just sad. We're just sad. Like, this would be the lamest.
You're playing really passively.
Hey, I mean, where's White's Moyo now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
White has a stone here, I give him, but with this stone here though, like,
It's this stone that doesn't exist in that variation, right?
well, you'd probably exchange this once, right?
Oh, okay,
Because you don't want to give up that Atari extension.
sure.
Also, just separately, how does this shape come to exist?
This would be from, let's see. I've seen this before. I know this one. Let me think.
It just seems like a bit weird. Is it like these two first and then this form?
I'm pretty sure this is the first stone. It's a
Oh, it's
five.
weird.
It's a 3-5 or 5-4 Joseki.
So maybe like there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's it. Yeah. Here we go. This one. 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 Joseki. Yeah. Normal.
Yeah, I just hadn't.
Hadn't seen
I was
that
just
pattern.
thinking
Yeah.
about that, and I was like, oh, I don't know.
That's an abomination. Nope, it's natural. That's natural Joseki. So yes. So anyway, your ideas are well intentioned, right? Two Moyos.
White have a stone here.
You have to expand yours while reducing your opponents. That's like the key part of the game.
Oh,
I
must
think
have
it's
been low.
it's third line, yeah. You just got to pick which side you want to do it from.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and that's
Especially I
the key
didn't,
point.
especially noticing that attack there.
Yeah, even though this is properly spaced, right? This is good for white in terms of relative shape. If you can get just a little bit of free stuff, you are going to be able to build something humongous. And so even though the spacing is good for white, it's not efficient enough for white to actually build if you get the first move. Okay. This one, what's going on this board?
We have a big wall here. Was the big thing that we got from that?
Huh?
I think we were talking about there.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more here now for some reason.
All right, so question. So which direction is that wall pointing?
Let's
So-
build this.
Depending on who you are.
Yeah, so where it's a tank. It's going to fire its shell into the war zone. Which direction is that thing going to fire?
Here.
Yeah, it's actually it's going to fire
Oh
this
my.
side of the board. And
That's-
again, if you ever want to figure out how far you should be firing something, if it's one stone, it's one space. If you have two stones, you fire two
This
spaces.
is across the board.
Yeah, we're firing it pretty far here.
Okay.
Because
We totally
this
solved
is
it.
really should be countered in this wall here,
Yeah.
right? This is an extension of it. So what's your idea?
We had
We
been
were
thinking
thinking that-
extremely small.
We were thinking here, which is totally
Oh,
wrong.
we don't get him to scoff at us. Hold on, he has to come back so we
okay.
can scoff.
So
I water now.
stop. So we were thinking here to pressure this one stone.
It wasn't even to pressure also, it was also partially to stop that white stone from coming
Yeah.
out.
So I'm
What
thinking
is that
now.
white stone gaining if it comes out though?
Yeah, I'm thinking somewhere here now.
Or maybe a cap.
Yep. I really want to attack this hard. As hard as we can now.
It's hard to attack that
Okay.
directly because if the second
know.
white, you threaten anything in white space, white just does this, it lives.
Okay.
And that's actually quite a large number of points.
Okay.
I think the pros consider this move. I think it's like 18-point move.
Whoa!
Because because number one, you get these points, plus you're entitled, you have a 50% chance of being entitled to these points, right? So you get half the value of this, and then you get like a quarter value of this. If you don't get this move, your opponent gets these points, you get nothing. Plus 50% of the points you get from this, or this, or this, right? Even if we just play this very crude thing, right? You're 50% entitled to these points here as well. So if you add up all of those, percentages, it comes out to, I think the answer is around 18.
So is that commonly played really early then?
No, because it turns out when you add up any of the percentages for like any move on the Go board, they're all much huger values than you realize in terms of how important they are. But it's just an interesting thing to see if you've never seen that type of counting before. But yeah, we need to fire this thing this way.
Okay.
And we actually don't need to attack. We just need to poke. We just need to even threaten to attack. Because if white has to defend this at all, this gets humongous really fast.
And I feel like in any of my games, if I tried something like that, it would end up being the case that white just like chucks a stone somewhere here in the middle and then just lives and everything is ridiculously reduced.
So
This is a good idea. If white responds here, you'll feel very happy.
okay. So is white not going to respond?
I'm thinking white probably won't respond there.
Okay.
And you can say, aha, I have compensation. It's like,
Not enough compensation.
yeah, it doesn't, it feels like white gets away because that corner is not yours yet. So I think this is like not as good as the book move, but this is the right idea. And if you get a response, this is a strong move. If you don't get a response, then it's a weak move.
Book move.
Yeah, so the book move, the book says us to play here.
Is it like trying to threaten to surround those two stones there?
Yeah, number one, Kyle wants to attack. That helps out directly. Even if we don't want to attack him, we can just press this down. If your opponent gets sucked into doing this type of thing. Oh my gosh. Real scary on white.
Yeah, but I don't know. It feels so big that can white play something?
Yeah, white
just
has to. White can't play this way, right? So I'm saying, if you might even get this for free later on, and white doesn't have time to respond. Maybe you get one response, maybe, but now, yeah, white has to do something. It's also, the interesting thing about this move is normally this is a little bit too far from these two stones, right? It looks like, oh, that's a little thin. Normally we'd expect to move here, maybe even there if it was in danger of other white stones nearby. But in this case, because white has this one little two stone group, if white wants to try to cut this really hard, he has to be so careful. Like so careful. Because we can just flip the tables here. And take, push. Probably that one. This, I mean, this is going to be a huge fight. But
Kill that down there.
with one move, right, black just ruins this. And white's not safe yet in the middle.
So that was my question. Was basically, how do I know when I can go that far away from my?
Yeah, so
I was wondering, is it because I've got all this strength over here?
Yeah.
Yes,
Or is it the weakness of that?
It's both. It's both. So yeah, it's exactly what you're looking for. Is you know what? I mean, it comes down to reading, but you have to first be able to feel like there's something there to read, right? And so the feeling that you have to have is that, look, I have a tank, and number two, these are just two stones. If white tries anything, you have to have faith in your reading ability. If not, if you've already read it.
So like the cap would be just a little bit too
I-
far.
You know, if this was my game, I would be really hard pressed to just play something like this. Like this is the type of move I would look for. Because I still like the ramifications it has down here. It's still it's very directed in its direction of play.
Yeah.
White still has a hard time coming in here without damaging this. But yeah, actually this is better.
Okay.
That is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It has a tighter cage on the white stones there.
And this is,
yeah, I mean, if white cuts through, white's going to get counterattacked, and if white just plays the normal shape move, this is beautiful direction for black. Yeah, you're going to take a local loss in this corner, right? Because white can make cuts like this. But you got what you wanted. And when you're dealing with these large Moyos, maybe just there. You can give up, you know, a 20, 30 point corner and be totally fine.
Is this all secure for black then, or can white just play in there?
I mean, there's lots of reductions, right? We have to watch out for this. Where do you, I mean, if you're white, you know, first of all, white really should,
Fix that, yeah.
if white is considering this profit, because there's still lots of problems here. Black can come here, black can come here. And these responses for white are not easy. So if white just comes in, black now has something to lean on to build strength to come back and eat this.
Okay.
So I'm definitely not going to call this secure territory by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay.
But there's weaknesses now, which means that if white is going to try anything drastic, it is not easy. So anyway, I thought that was a cool move when I saw the problem. I was like, oh, yeah, of course. Just like one of those. Let's play there. A little bit strange. Because, yeah, normally we'd look for moves like this, or like this. But in Moyo, you just want to make the direction very clear. Right? You're saying, this is mine. You have to come in and I will attack you. Okay? This one. I like this one, partially because when I first saw the problem, I knew what the answer was within 2 seconds, and I turned the page, and I was correct, and I moved on.
Okay.
How did you guys do?
Yeah, it took us.
What do you think?
I'm rethinking things now. But
Oh, he's like, oh, the answer must be obvious.
the one I was thinking first was something here to try to utilize these stones to build something with this box here. Because I like this box, and I feel like white can easily come into this box and ruin it, so.
This is true.
This was the one where we determined that cutting here doesn't matter.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, cutting there is not big, right?
Yeah.
Cutting there is a small move. It's still points, but
Yeah.
Is this at all normal for black to tanuki in that shape?
no.
It looks just like ridiculously incomplete.
Correct.
Like we looked at moves where we would like finish off those. We weren't sure we liked them.
All right, I'm gonna give you a hint. The last 3 moves in the game were these 3. Black, white saw this giant Moyo, was like, no, don't, whoops. Don't make a
okay.
giant Moyo, or 4 moves, sorry, not 3. Black backed off, again, Joseki. White pulled back.
Oh, so black
So
wants to.
we might normally connect or
That's
crazy like this.
This is a rare Joseki.
Oh,
This is
okay.
more common,
Okay.
but this is possible. This is a rare one.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely one of those two is what it was,
Those are both Joseki moves.
Okay.
but not what the problem is looking for.
Would it be crazy to go over the top?
No, that's the move.
Okay.
This is also Joseki. Locally, it's a huge loss, right? Because white can just cut here.
Yeah.
But this is the pattern. Next move for white, anybody know what it is?
You have to take this stone, don't you?
How? Best move for white to take that stone.
Just curl back.
Like here?
No, that's
No.
too tight. You're better
There.
off doing this.
This one, that's the move.
What happens
that's
when
a
you
nice
do
shape.
this and black comes out?
Oh, that one. Yeah, there's bad Aji later.
Okay.
There's bad Aji later. I don't remember what it is. But it's
Okay.
something like here to activate it.
Okay.
I don't quite remember.
Yeah.
But not that one.
This is great.
That's a bad Aji.
Okay. Ta-da.
That one. This one solves your Aji. Black takes his target immediately. Done. Finished. Black makes another move somewhere in here. And so if white takes this cut right now you can come back and take whatever you want. You could even just expand this way. I don't feel like that's correct, even though it looks huge.
That's what I thought.
I'm not surprised that, well actually, I don't know. I'm trying to understand why this sequence to build this wall when you've got this white stone here.
It's building this way. is
The key
thing.
move, yeah, the key move
It's
is that
not-
you're building this almost by accident. All these moves are forcing for black. These 3 were free. You don't really care about those.
You care about this one
This is the one you care about.
Okay,
because it's so good to build this.
okay.
I guess, and we totally missed it.
Because now, like white can play these types of reduction moves, right? Like this would be all free for white. But if you have this stone here, this is all uniting into a very large middle. White can't just pitter around, this 1-point territory in the corner. You guys look at this. Black
Yeah,
leaves
this is what we decided was so bad.
We decided white would never do that
Yeah, this is-
because it's
Good.
wonderful
Really
wall
bad.
for black.
White kind of feels compelled to actually come in this way or this way, right?
Yeah. I mean, so that's sort of why I think, still not totally sure I buy this result as awesome. Not that, so I guess it's black's move at the end
It's
of that.
black's move.
Yeah.
So if black wants
That's
to
fair.
be the really solid shape type
That's
person,
fair.
you play
That's
there.
fair. That looks,
And yeah,
that
white
looks
gets
a little stronger
white gets
now.
a very large corner. But white, this is all the points white's going to get this entire game, right? There's nowhere else for white to get points on this board, or at least any substantial number. Yeah, white can make a small 8-point group here, but if we just look at points, comfortably we can probably give white at least 6, but it's actually probably more like 8 because there's Sente here. So if we have 8, this is big, right? That's over 15 points. So we'll say optimistically white has 25 here, 35, 45. White has a very optimistic 45 points. Can we get 45 points out of this?
If we just get the middle, we get it all.
I feel like we can. I don't even feel like it has to be like a really good day, it just has to be a mediocre day, and we can find 45 points here.
Is it more that this white group would be strong unless a strong way to build into the middle without that stone? Then?
Well, if black doesn't play here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so here, let's look at the other Joseki possibilities. So let's say black plays a normal Joseki.
Yeah.
All right, the most common locally good variation is here. White move here. Black move here. This would be okay for black. This is pretty reasonable.
Is it worse than what we just had?
It's not.
But
Because
I'm not convinced white plays that way.
Ah, okay.
I think white plays here now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you play here, and then white plays here. And so I think this is
white
how
wants
this.
to
If you
fight
tried to do
really
this
hard.
normal Joseki, yeah, white's going to fight really hard over this.
Okay.
You know, normally the corner is biggest, right?
Yeah.
Which is why white plays that normal variation, this attachment style variation. But in this case, white's going to play this way.
Is the cue that the center is so large that
You're building a super big box.
it's just so loose with the space, like
Yeah.
this being completely open, these being just star points. I'm not sure in my own game I would recognize that the center is just an incredible development potential on this board compared to this is just like normal play. Hey, let's do a Joseki here. If I was white, I probably wouldn't have.
Okay, here, let's do a little math. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right, that way. 10, 11, 12, 13.
Okay.
So we have 13 by 15.
Minus like 5.
Well, I'm just, whatever that total number is, 195?
Yeah.
That may be right.
That might be right. I just made that up. I think it's 195. That sounds pretty good. All right, so if we have 195 point potential here,
Yeah.
and my opponent can reduce just half of it, how many points are we left at with?
Like 90 some.
All right, so let's round up. We'll say we get 100, but our opponent invades again, and they reduce half of that. So they get 2 very successful invasions here to go their way. How many points are we left with?
50.
Like 50 points. That's more than enough to win the game here.
Is that like a reasonable rule of thumb to have in your head? Is like
That's like more than reasonable.
Each invasion will cut it in half approximately.
Like if your Moyos really thin, that's not a bad way to think about it.
Sure.
Yeah, if your Moyos really thin. So my opponent, I'm looking at this game and I'm going, all right, my opponent has to invade twice. And each of those invasions have to remove half of the points on the board in order for the game to be close. And if you guys have ever invaded anything before, you know that, invading and reducing 100 points that one invasion is not a small task. So I'm going to look and go, yum, great, give me my 195 point Moyo. Let's see how my opponent can get in there. And if he can have 2 successful invasions, one that reduces 100 points and the second one that reduces 50 points, then it'll be a close game. He probably has to invade it 3 times. Or 1 deep reduction and 2 other invasions in order to win. That's hard. Okay, this one.
This one moves at all.
What did we think?
I like this one.
Yeah, this was the one. This was the one.
I like this move. This is not what the book says, and I got this one wrong. When I first looked at the book, I was like, oh, because I'm going through these problems, I go, clearly the move is there.
I can remember.
We
What a
looked
beautiful
for a
move.
while until we saw this, and then we all
Yeah.
cheered and walked away.
Yeah, we were like, huzzah.
We're talking
I did the
about it
same
on
thing.
Yeah. We were talking about, here, but like, we're way less happy
I didn't-
than
yeah.
like, box, yay. Build boxes. Boxes are fun.
Yeah, we
Well,
liked it because of the effect it has here as well as.
Oh yeah, it looks like great. It's like, hey, what a beautiful move, right?
This is where the
Forestalls the white invasion, builds this nice looking rectangular box. Might even have some ability to help with an invasion over here. Follow up later. What a nice looking classic book move to have as the answer to a problem. It's not the answer to the problem that the book gave. So it pissed me off.
Is that even more elegant move
And I'll
here?
show you the book. The book wants you to play here.
Whoa! What a
Really?
surprise. Why?
Well, it's because the
Because
thing
white
we
will
talked
come back
about
here and do
before.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really?
Ah, that's actually really interesting. I buy it now that...
I'm really lukewarm.
I don't know.
Like, I only really buy it because the book says it's right.
I would only buy it if the book says it's right also.
Because I still feel like, there's still the possibility for you to for white to come in over here. I guess this is one space further. If this is close to here, I'm really hard pressed to buy that. But white's going to invade here next, right? This is the next move on the
Okay,
board.
we did talk about that.
Yeah. So why here particularly instead of some other move that's looser?
This is a beautiful shape, number one.
Okay.
This is just a standard corner shape when you want to build both sides.
Okay.
This is the point where those 2 sides meet.
Yeah, I just thought it might be a bit over concentrated for something like that.
In large formations, this is
That's
a
fine.
good move. Yeah.
Okay.
Double wing formations, like you guys know that double wing is good, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
If you can build out two sides from a corner, you're winning. This is how you develop it.
Yeah.
A straight up double wing.
And if you build 3 sides from a corner, you're cheating.
That's right. If you're playing 4-dimensional Go. 3-dimensional, I guess 3-dimensional Go works. Yeah, 3-dimensional Go is all you need.
It depends
You
if
already-
you count time as a dimension.
Right. Sure. Okay. You know,
Because
I don't know. I'm gonna say this is correct and I'm wrong.
so in that variation you showed where
In
you
this case,
actually
yeah, you
attach,
play this
then
way.
it feels not
so-
too bad.
And so the problem is if white goes here, you're a little bit hard pressed to go here. And then white can reduce this.
Yeah, yeah, I can see.
But I don't know. You're fine. It's not like
It's not like you're dying on either side really soon.
I don't know. I give up. Next problem.
It's over.
Oh yeah, that's the problem we argued over.
Oh, good. Arguing is good.
I'm trying to remember this one.
You wanted to go here.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to go in
Over and
there.
under.
It was, so what we thought was that this group looks, oh yeah, there was a third option.
Third option. Just build this. Just build it.
So yeah.
That's not the
yeah,
answer. That's not the answer.
Okay.
I'm just,
I stand by.
I'm just saying how nice that would be.
You had at least good direction there. you go.
There's a better way to just build that.
Okay.
So we looked at a couple variations. One
Yeah.
is on top, block, and then,
Yeah. I want to kick that thing in the teeth.
But then you get separated.
so you think white will come out is the suggestion?
No, white will play here first.
Okay. And so
I
then
got
the
stones here.
next one was that black was gonna go there. And what we put down was this,
That's okay.
and then black was gonna come back here.
I mean, it can't live locally.
Yeah. This was not my favorite variation.
This doesn't quite work for black.
Okay.
Because normally at this point black would want to play here, right? But now this wall is the wall's on the wrong side. You screwed up the wall building.
Okay.
It's like the construction manager got turned around halfway during the building process. Because if white jumps,
Then
we can
it's
take that.
not enough.
I think at this point actually white should play another move here. There you go. All right, look, this construction manager screwed up.
Okay.
What were we trying to develop?
The other side.
This side.
Okay.
We did not do that. No good. I actually might have to stand. That might be better shape in this case. But anyway,
So the other point we were looking at was to try and take away the base and make him run,
okay.
so we could build while he ran.
Making your opponent run is great if you have a plan.
The plan was hopefully they would run this way and we would build along
black,
this.
Black plays this way.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
So like that then, I guess.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, something like up there or something.
And then we were thinking that we would be able to build while they,
That's pretty good. That's okay. Problem. I don't think it's as good as the normal answer. Because if white also has strength over here, that means all these things are going to be peeps later.
sure.
You're going to have some defects. Okay. This is possible. This will work a lot better, though, if you have something more threatening. Like if you already have a wall over here,
Yeah.
and you do this, you're going to have a much easier time. Because you're going to get to build this,
Sure.
and then make sure all your shapes are fixed along the way.
Sure.
In this case, you're sort of like, you're building what you want, but you're only staying like one step ahead of the train.
Yeah.
Like those Looney Tunes cartoons where like the train's coming and they're putting down the rails like, one thing at a time. That's kind of what this feels like
I
to
feel like
me.
that's every game of Go I play. Oh god.
It's-
Rail!
Anyway, what are those, the braces, what are those called? There's a name for them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
We're useless to
Who
you.
knows? Don't they have a name? The ties? They're railroad ties, right? You put the tie down and then rail on top
You're asking the
tie.
wrong person.
You guys,
Yeah,
all right, fine.
we are not trained engineers, as it turns out.
All right, so anyway, that's sort of the feeling I get from that type of shape, this type of situation. Unless you have something else strong out here, I'm not really a big fan of making it run.
Okay.
Instead of making it run, probably just been better is to play that,
Huh.
Okay.
rather than give white a whole bunch of defining shape moves first.
Sure.
This would be a better move than just playing down here. Because when you play here, white now knows that he should run. If you play here,
Okay.
Right, yeah, that's looking bad.
you know, what should white
I think
do?
somebody might have suggested this, but I shut it down. Oh, well.
This is better than this.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
But still
this-
not the book answer.
It's not the
So
book
then
answer.
at that point, you would do something like that.
Right. We do want to use this as our resource to build this. Like, that's the idea.
But if white responds there, then you're definitely ahead already, so,
Yeah.
Does that mean
Well, white
we,
has to respond to survive.
and then, oh, that side.
I mean,
Sure.
some sort of side.
That's safer.
Okay.
so then are we looking for like this attachment or something in the?
The attachment feels great.
Oh,
That
we were
one.
just one.
Yeah. This
Okay.
is, remember this one? You built the wrong on the wrong side, dumbass?
So now we go on
Play
the
this
other
one. Try this one.
side. Eh,
Play?
So, white.
Yes? Attach.
Ah, interesting. Because then if white tries to push up,
Yes, this is Joseki.
then come back. Oops, my bad.
Yes. Next move for black.
Fix.
Fix the right side.
This way.
Okay.
Next move for white.
Oh,
This is a Joseki pattern that you guys will now have memorized after this moment.
I hate it when this happens. When,
I think you have to cut.
I was gonna say, is it this cut?
Yes, this cut.
Pretty sure.
Next move for black. Yes.
Ooh.
Fancy, but very nice.
Looks great.
Next move for white.
Which
Make-
Play here to live.
This is a Joseki to guarantee life.
Yeah.
Showa Sente.
Black.
What did black get?
Everything you wanted.
Everything you wanted. Now you can play here, you can play here. I don't know,
Is there any way white can resist that Joseki?
Yes.
Like, I
Yes.
feel like if I saw black play this initial move, I'd be like, shit, I know where this is going. I don't want it.
Yes, but they don't leave white with two eyes.
So then we back to the variation where white is trying to
It kind
run.
of goes back
Yeah.
similar to running. But I think in this variation, here, we can try some variations while this is running. I mean, just to humor you. Do you want to run now?
I mean,
I mean, we can try running right now, right?
is that isn't the first.
Okay, we'll try a few. Next move here. All right, this didn't help. Like, white can get some forcing moves.
What we're looking at here is worse.
It's worse, though, right?
Than what was before.
Yeah, okay, good. So running immediately is not good. So okay, let's try it again. All right,
What
so
sort
here.
of thing would you do if you were white and trying to resist black doing that to you?
So, I mean, Q players would try this, right? This would be the Q move.
Push. Okay.
Can you play here? This is also possible.
Yeah, doesn't it give way more weaknesses to deal with, or?
So we give up this. For being.
On that side and not alive. I guess.
It can be. Right, we just have to sort of keep pulling back. So I guess white can live that way. But these two are dead, right? Can't be saved. Can they be saved? No, they can be saved.
Maybe better than
No, I
that
can't.
first variation?
They can't be saved. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
I'm not sure either.
Well,
But
I guess it's
even if this is, you know, locally this is normally good for black. Like locally speaking, it's just that we care so much about this side in this case.
Yeah,
Because again, these two stones are dead. This makes the corner incredibly solid.
yeah, absolutely.
And this is not This is a better wall than where we had the previous variation where it was closer to this direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at more. I mean, it's plausible, but it's a local loss for white, for sure. If we do this and we do this, we can cut here. Now, this is a better variation for white than the game, but not by a lot. I mean, if you keep coming up,
Yeah.
Yeah. That just goes
maybe
up,
take this
right?
Atari.
Yeah.
Is it better?
Like, maybe white? No, there's no guaranteed life for white, so it's like
Oh,
really
there kind of is after, if we can,
Oh,
like there's ways to make eyes.
okay. It's white's turn.
It is white's turn.
Okay.
It is white's turn.
But black will get sent out of it again.
If white plays there again.
You know, if you keep pushing, or like, eventually you'll feel safe enough to just Tanuki. But this isn't terribly great for white either for black to get all these
That
stones
went
in.
badly.
No.
So this is probably better than the one that kills off the two white stones.
Sure.
In terms of direction.
Can you use this thing?
Yeah, we can use this thing, but what's the next move?
Yeah. That's, yeah.
You need some more friends.
I was going to say
You would have one,
invade
but-
is the next move.
Yeah.
It's a little difficult
Invade
to
and
sort
pray.
of-
Yeah, maybe you could do something around here that threatens.
There, yes, you did it.
Well, number one, if black can lean on this
Yeah.
and prevent and start to threaten eye space, you know, later on black can come back and try to eat that too. So I'm not in love with this. And the variation where white just lives solidly is not terrible, right? You live solidly, you don't have any more questions.
At 3-3.
Yeah, there's still 3-3.
Yeah.
3-3.
But
Black just plays there. And white should wireless down, play something like this to live. That's not there yet, right? Because you 3-3'd instead. I don't know. I feel fine as black.
Yeah.
yep.
So anyway, the key point, when you were leaning on those two stone base groups, you know, you lean on the point further away from where you want
Okay,
to
so you
build
take the
stuff.
point further away
Yeah.
to build the wall.
Yeah, it's
Kind of weird.
That's weird. Okay, last problem.
Yeah.
What do you guys think on this one?
I have an answer of this, but I'm not confident it's good. But
Kyle, we're gonna make your day, buddy. That's the correct answer.
of my
Now tell us why that's the correct answer.
because I didn't know if we could save those stones, and I was kind of looking, and I'm like, okay, we could run, but it would not be good. Maybe it's better if we just let them die.
Absolutely. That's great.
We worked through variations, seeing
Yeah.
if we did the best pick. Was this stone even here already?
Yes.
Part of the problem?
Don't remember that.
Anyway, we worked through a couple of variations to see if we could make those three stones live if we just tried. And the answer was maybe in Co if we really tried.
Yeah, very, very hard, right?
Yeah.
Also, look at this. Actually, I don't think this stone is here. I think you're right.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it's not there.
I'll-
Yeah, okay, I actually remember the shape now. I remember it was kind of like, yeah.
Something like that.
So, but even so,
Fix it.
right? When we're looking at this, we have to note a couple things. Number one, it's really hard to save these stones. Number two, what are we going to gain by saving these stones? Well, we prevent our opponent from having maybe these 10 to 15 points. That's big. So the question is there, just strategically, is there some place we can get more than 10 to 15 points, never mind those stones? Over here. Yes. And the reason why I'm also only saying these are really worth 10 to 15 points is because white already has a Panuki, right? White's already strong here. And so if we run out and white makes a base over here, we'll assume some even exchanges, but everyone's going to be safe. We're not threatening anything else. We're done threatening stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to find a bigger move. Now, and when we give up these stones, this is kind of what we're trying to do. We're just trying to give them up in the most annoying way possible.
Yeah.
And so this looks like it makes.
So does white have to respond? The main variation we looked at was here.
Yeah.
That'd be a little bit sad of a response, though, don't you think?
Yeah, it's definitely sad. Oh, we definitely thought that was sad.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we looked at if white jumps out instead or something like that,
Yeah,
there's
there's
this
still
connection
this. Absolutely,
underneath.
absolutely. It's really obnoxious.
Yeah.
And I think even if you play this, I still think there's this move here.
Oh,
Really?
interesting.
We
What is
didn't-
the fallout from here?
We didn't know.
So-
We didn't think this worked if once they did
So number
that.
one, if white plays this side,
Oh, then I see. You're threatening to live down here now. Okay.
yeah,
I see. I see. That makes sense. So you wouldn't do this immediately, but it would be like left behind. The white constantly has to think, do I come back and...
hold on, I'm not
There's a
sure.
white
I'm not-
stone there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the killing point, though.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't quite live. I thought there was a chance. Co? Co. Whoops. At least co. There's your co.
Nice.
So, even if you play that diagonal move, still not dead.
Still not dead.
But we wouldn't play it right now, right? Especially if it's co. You would
And
say.
then jump out for black next?
Yeah, I think so. I think this would be very happy. If we know there's
Yeah.
still a co there,
Well, that's the exact variation we were thinking.
yeah, that'd be very beautiful. Another thing, if white already has a wall here, but we already have a bunch of really strong stones
Yeah,
here.
we were talking about that.
It's very hard for white, if white can capture this cleanly, remember, white's not just playing the stone to capture, but to also get benefit on the outside. The benefit on the outside is already reduced. We already have strong black stones. So, again, I go back to saying this is really only about 15 points,
Yeah.
strategically speaking. I would kind of expect, maybe in response to this move, actually, I don't know what I would do as white. It's really, it's like a no-win situation. So all the shapes you make are bad, right? If you play this one, but black's going to get out ahead of you, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, that leaves a whole bunch of defects later. Like you have to keep playing the side, because otherwise there's going to be a cut here that you probably don't want to deal with your stupid empty triangle shape. If the liberty's important, we can play here. That's a little bit risky. Maybe just even that. At some point, white's going to have to come back and take these stones off the board. Really obnoxious. Black will just get this whole outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, give up is the correct idea. Well done, well done. Don't try, there is no try.
There is no try. I wasn't
Well,
really
especially-
confident, but everybody else seemed to love it. So
Well,
this is-
especially
this isn't
given
here,
the
right?
number of
That's
stones
nothing.
that white invested as well.
it's a lot of stones invested, but it's still
But we also know white captured at least one.
That's fair,
Right?
that's
So,
fair.
so it's really only a 2-stone corner for white.
That's fair.
So it's like, you can pretend that this is what the board should look like. Right? And so the only question is whether or not this was better than that for you or worse.
That makes sense.
So that's how the math works, yeah. All right, so anyway, these were a little bit more challenging, I think, than last week's,
I think that's right.
Moyo
it's
problems.
harder for me for sure.
Good. What do you guys think about this set?
There were some that I kind of had an inkling for, and then there was like one over there where we were like supposed to love bomb, so we weren't even close.
Yeah, the one where you were playing way too small.
Yeah.
You have a giant 12-stone wall, and you're trying to expand it by 1 stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These problems
In
felt a lot more-
retrospect.
It was a lot more kind of murky feeling versus
Yep.
life and death, where it's like, oh, this doesn't work, or this
Right,
does.
right. There is a lack of like a lack of definite answer
I
in
feel like
these.
these will come closer to being the sort of thing where it's like, oh yes, I've seen this vague shape before. Now my intuition says to look for this,
Right.
rather than like a lot of these, even after seeing the answer, still is not super obvious to the analytical part of my brain.
You have to feel these.
Yeah.
These are, life and death you get with your brain. These are moves you get with your heart.
Yeah, play with your heart at home, guys.
That's right. There's a very different sense of feeling for these types of moves.
Yeah.
Just because the board is so big, and
Yeah.
you can't think through every possibility. So yes, you really do have to
Unless
be
you're else is good.
sensitized to that feeling. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
So, all right, you guys want to play some games?